This is a great honor and something that I never expected that I would receive in my life. The honor, I want to thank Dr. Huddleston and Martin University and all you graduates for letting me be a part of your graduating team and marching with you today. This is pretty new to me, okay? This is not something that I'm used to. I do business speaking, okay? I'm back in the back room and I said, Dr. Huddleston, what kind of message can I give to the students today? He said, man, just make it authentic and just tell them your story, okay? So that's what I'm gonna do, okay? I thank Dr. Huddleston, thank Martin University, I thank my family who's here. Y'all wanna raise your hand? Yeah, so, and you guys know how important family is because I didn't get to where I am without support from the family, okay? When I speak today, I'm gonna talk about 15 minutes and that's it, okay? And I'm gonna give you three nuggets to look for in my story, okay? And hopefully you can pick up on those three nuggets and hopefully it can help you get to where you wanna be when you leave here, okay? I think everybody knows here that success comes in different colors and different fashions and different definitions, okay? Mine, for me, has become, I want to be the best in the business, okay? I want to be the best that I can possibly be for myself, okay? People think about competition and competing against other people. I learned early in my career, there's really just one person you're competing against. Y'all get it. Look at y'all. Y'all can finish my sentences. Y'all would fit well in my company, as Brian Harrington. When you can finish my thoughts, that's a beautiful thing. So the three nuggets that I want you guys to listen for when I tell my short story is training your brain. Training your brain to overcome adversity. Second is constant goal setting. Keep raising the bar for who? Y'all can finish my sentences. Keep raising the bar for yourself. And lastly, operate from a warrior mentality versus a victim mentality. I didn't get to the highest levels of media in this country by playing the victim role. I have been a victim, but I didn't let it stop me. I figured out a way and I trained my brain to smooth it another way, to get to where I wanted to be by retraining my brain to overcome adversity. When I went to Butler University, oh, by the way, I don't know if you read my bio, I grew up in Hallville. I grew up in the projects. Somebody back there, hey. I grew up in the projects. I grew up in Hallville. I grew up in the Concord projects. My wife grew up in the projects as well. We've been together 30 years. No, we've been together 39 years. We've been married for 30 years, okay? I was raised by a single mother, sitting right there. My mama raised 4 boys and 2 nieces, 6 people by herself. Yes, she did. Hats off to her. So I didn't come from money. I didn't come from with a silver spoon in my mouth. What I realized at an early age, if somebody else could do it, guess what I could do? I could do it too. It didn't have to be black people, didn't care if it was a white guy or whatever. If somebody else could do it, my drive and ambition, I challenged myself to do it. When I got my first job out of college, I went to work for a company called Copyright. But it didn't start at Copyright selling copiers. The Indianapolis Star did an article about me. And the sales manager for Channel 4 read the article and he called me up. I was still a student at Butler, I was still a senior. And I interviewed with him and he said, man, you are so green, okay? I can't give you this job yet. I don't think you're mature enough yet to work here. I don't think you're mature enough yet to work here. I said, okay, no problem. I took a job selling copiers. He said, stay in contact with me though. I was 22 years old. I stayed in contact with Bernie Sowers as I took my job selling copiers, because what I realized after I talked to him, that working for a TV station was sexy. Working for a TV station meant I could sell media. I could go to the Pacer games. I can go to the WNBA games and watch Tamika Catchings. I can go to Colts football games. I can go to IU basketball games back in the day. So I stayed in contact with Bernie. I took my job selling copiers for 6 months and went back, and he said, oh, wow, I can't believe how much you've matured in 6 months. And I said to myself, wow, did I really mature that much? But I realized when I was at Butler University, I was big man on campus. I was BMOC at Butler University, and I thought I could be BMOC in my interviews in my first job, although I didn't even know how to work. I didn't even know how the workplace worked, okay? So I got some experience, went back to Bernie. Bernie said, can't believe how much you matured. I want to hire you. Will you start working for me in October? I was 22 years old. I said, absolutely, Bernie. I want to work for you. I worked for Bernie for 18 months. Bernie comes in and says, hey, I had a conversation with Fred Barber, who's the general manager of the TV station. And he told me, whoever the salesperson that has the lowest billing on the staff, I need to fire them. DuJuan, guess who that is? I said, is that me, Bernie? He said, oh yeah, that's you, DuJuan, but I got confidence in you. I got faith in you. You're an athlete. I believe in you. You can do it. You need to change something that you're doing, because I want to keep you on the staff, and I know you can do it. From that point on, I was 24 years old. He shook me, and he said, if you don't change what you're doing, and if you don't get better, I'm going to have to let you go. From that point forward, the light bulb went off. The light bulb went off in my life and went off in my career. How do I know? I was a commission-based salesperson. I doubled my income the next year. I doubled my income the next year. I used to tell my kids, some of older folks remember when you used to get the Social Security update on what your earnings were each year. I tell my kids that story. I show them the doubling of my income, okay? That's when I figured out the game. That's when I figured out the game in the workplace. So from that point forward, when Bernie told me what I need to do, I start becoming the best me, okay? Then all of a sudden, the station was sold. The station was sold to a guy by the name of Barry Baker. He was a white man, he was a Jewish man, and he came to my sales meeting when he took over the television stations, and he said, I need salespeople that want to make a lot of jack. That was back in 1992. Those were the words that Barry Baker was saying to all the salespeople. I said to myself, that guy is speaking to me. He's speaking my language, because I didn't know owners could use the words like jack when they're talking to the staff. I said, I want to be like that guy. Did you hear me? I want to be like that guy. He was 38 years old, I was 23. That was the moment in my career that I said, I want to own TV stations. As soon as I realized that, I started telling everybody, I want to own TV stations. I want to own TV stations. You know what they said? What they say? Can't do it. Ain't gonna happen. The business is, this is back in the 90s. The business is consolidating right now. Ain't ever happening. You can't raise the money. You don't know how to do it, da-da-da-da-da. I said, okay, keep on talking. Y'all know who Amp Harris is? I know y'all know who Amp Harris is. Amp Harris was at my TV station the other day, and Amp Harris said, man, I remember when you were at Channel 4, DuJuan, back in the 90s, and you don't remember this conversation with me. You told me you were going to own TV stations, and look at you. You own one of the biggest TV stations in Indianapolis. I said, Amp, nobody believed me. Nobody believed me. I kept doing what I do, okay? I start moving around the country with my beautiful family while they let me chase my dream. Every time I got to one point in my career, guess what I did? I raised the bar. I raised the bar for myself, okay? I raised my goal. When Bernie told me to do something, Bernie was my sales manager, I tried to be the best at that than anybody on my sales staff. I got so good at my sales, some of the veteran salespeople used to come to me, don't sell that, DuJuan. You're making us look bad. You're making us look bad. But that was just me. That was me trying to be the better who? The better me. I kept raising the bar and raising the bar. Once I sold everything that they asked me to sell, I went to my managers, I said, hey, everything y'all asked me to do, I've done. I want to be a manager now. I want to be a manager now. And they said, oh, gave me the old him and a han, and 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 him and a han didn't want to give me the management job, and so forth, okay? They promoted a guy and didn't hire me. I went to him, I said, wait a minute, I told you I wanted to be a manager, and you didn't even post the job. You gave it to this other guy. Oh, we got something for you, we got something for you. Yeah, that's right. But little did they know I had my feelers out there. Little did they know I was really trying to be a manager and I didn't want to be a sports sales guy. And there was a white guy that started buying TV stations, and he used to run Channel 4. And he remembered how good I was. And I was 25 years old. He said, hey, DuJuan, I heard you got passed over for a management job. I think you're ready for management. I want to make you part owner of my company, and I want to move you to Greenville, New Bern, Washington, in North Carolina, where Patrick Douglas, my 26-year-old, was born in North Carolina, and he made me part owner of the company. And he gave me a goal. He said, DuJuan, we ain't gonna keep these stations too long. I need you to use your skills, I need you to use your strategy, and I need for you to grow these TV stations so that we can sell them and I can give you a bunch of money. And oh, by the way, I'm gonna teach you how to do what I do. I said, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. So I took a pay cut. I took a pay cut from Indianapolis to do that one because that was part of my dream. Remember? That was part of my dream. Fast forward, because my wife is telling me my time is running out. She's running time. Fast forward, when I start moving around and I realized I got a skill. I have a skill that I'm making other people money. And I'm making other people a lot of money. My last job before I went to owning TV stations was in Houston, Texas. I worked for Rupert Murdoch, the owner of Fox News and the Fox Network. And I was the VP of sales for one of his largest stations. And when I got there in 2003, they were billing $90 million. On my skills and on my strategy, I took it to $140 million. The only problem with that was he was getting a lot bigger cut than I was. And I looked at my trend in my history of running TV stations. The trend is your friend. I got a skill, and I need to be doing this for who? I need to be doing this for myself. So I left old Rupert Murdoch in July of 2007, and I sniffed out, I hunted down 7 TV stations in West Texas, and I bought them for $3 million. I figured out the game. I figured out the game. Fast forward, I just don't know what it is about me, okay? But when people say, how do you do it? I operate from a warrior mentality. I train my brain to overcome adversity, and I keep raising the bar. Dr. Huddleston didn't tell you, I'm about to launch a network. I'm seeing how good I can be. When I say launch a network, I'm talking about launching a network like Fox News, like CNN, like MSNBC. It is going to be called the Multicultural News Network, MNN, and it's going to be based here in Indianapolis, Indiana. So I'm happy. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of your graduation, and good luck to everybody.